There's a specific kind of sadness that doesn't really have a name. It's the feeling you get when you realize you're not the same person you used to be. Not in a bad way, not in a good way, just you've changed. There's a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. And even though nothing bad happened, even though you're arguably better off now, there's this quiet ache when you think about them. That old you, the one you used to be, and you kind of miss them, even though that person is you and you're right here. It's a weird thing to grieve someone who didn't die. But that's basically what it is. Every few years, without any ceremony, without anyone noticing, a version of you quietly ends, and a new one takes their place, and nobody tells you that you're allowed to be a little sad about it. I think about this more than I probably should, because there are these past versions of me that feel almost like different people now. Like there's a version of me that believed things I don't believe anymore, that was excited about stuff I don't care about now, that had friends I don't talk to, a way of talking I don't use, a whole entire inner world that just isn't there anymore. It got slowly replaced, one small change at a time, until one day I looked back and realized that person was gone, and I didn't even notice them leaving. And here's the thing that gets me. Nobody warns you that growing up is partly a series of tiny deaths, that every version of you that you outgrow is a real loss, even when the growth is good. We only ever talk about growth like it's pure gain. Level up, become a better you, glow up. And sure, it is that. But it's also loss. Every time you become someone new, you lose someone old. And that someone was you. And you never really got to say goodbye because you didn't know what was happening until it was already done. Think about the specific versions. There's the version of you from a certain age who had this specific set of dreams, really believed in them, was going to do this exact thing with their life. And you're not mad at them and you don't think they were wrong, but you're not them anymore. And those specific dreams aren't yours anymore. And there's something a little sad about the fact that they'll never get to know how things actually turned out. They were so sure, and they just quietly stopped being you before they ever found out. There's the version of you that was close with people you've drifted from, who had inside jokes that don't land anymore, a whole language you shared with people who aren't in your life now. That version of you knew things about those friendships, felt things that the current you can barely access. It's not that you forgot, it's that the person who lived it isn't running the show anymore. There's the version of you that lived in a place you've since left, who knew a neighborhood by heart, had a routine there, a whole life shaped around a specific set of streets and rooms. And when you go back, if you go back, it feels smaller and stranger. And part of why is that the you who belonged there doesn't exist to belong there anymore. You're a visitor now in your own old life. And you carry all of them around inside you, these past selves, folded up quietly. And most of the time, you don't think about them at all. And then some random thing, a song, a smell, an old photo, a place, will crack one of them open. And for a second, you're flooded with the feeling of being that person again. And then it closes, and you feel this ache because you can visit them, but you can't go back. You can't be them again. That door only opens one way. So here's the part I actually want to sit with, because I think it matters. Why does this hurt so much when nothing actually went wrong? And I think it's because there's no ritual for it. There's no funeral for the person you used to be. When someone actually dies, we have this whole process. We gather, we acknowledge it, we let ourselves be sad, we say goodbye. It's messy, but it's a container. It gives the loss somewhere to go. But when a version of you quietly ends, there's nothing. No moment where anyone says, hey, that person you were, they're gone now. And it's okay to feel that. It just happens in the background of an ordinary life, unremarked. And so the grief has nowhere to go. It just sits there as this low, nameless ache that shows up when you least expect it, and you don't even have the words for what it is. So you just push it down and keep going. It's grief without a funeral, loss without a name. And that's exactly why I feel so strange and lonely, because we never built a way to talk about it. But here's the reframe, and this is the thing I actually find kind of beautiful once you turn it over. The reason it hurts to outgrow a version of yourself is that that version was real. They mattered. They weren't a rough draft or a mistake you're glad to be rid of. They were a whole entire person who felt everything fully and lived a real life inside you. And the ache you feel is basically proof that they were worth something. You don't grieve, what did it matter? So the sadness isn't a sign that something went wrong. It's a sign that every version of you was fully alive, that you didn't sleepwalk through your life, that each you actually showed up and cared and existed hard enough that losing them leaves a mark. And there's something even gentler underneath that. Those past versions of you, they're not really gone, not completely. They're the reason you are who you are now. The dreamer, the friend, the kid, the one who lived in that old place. They all handed something down to the you that exists today. You are made out of all of them. Every version you outgrew is still in there, holding the current you up, like rings inside a tree. The tree doesn't lose its old rings when it grows around them. They're still in the center, holding everything together. You didn't lose those people. You became the thing they were growing toward. So if you ever feel that specific ache, that quiet missing someone who is you feeling, I don't think you need to fix it or push it away. I think you can just let it be what it is, which is a kind of love. A goodbye you never got to say, finally getting said, a little late, in the quiet. It's okay to miss who you were. It doesn't mean you want to go back. It just means they mattered. And maybe that's the closest thing there is to a funeral for the versions of you that quietly ended. Just this. Just taking a second every once in a while to remember them. And to say, thanks for getting me here. I've got it from here.